everyone, welcome to Learning Curve Acres. It's quite the rainy day, so I thought it was a good time to do a quick update on what's going on here. It's going to seem a little chaotic, I'm sorry, but I just want to show you what I have going on the main floor and upstairs in the hallway and craft room. So we're here, so we'll start with these tomatoes. I've had a few tomatoes off this plant now, and we've got quite a few more. Now, I believe this is the black tomato it's supposed to be from New Brunswick originally. I believe it was New Brunswick, maybe Nova Scotia. Anyways, these came originally from the Wilderstead, so that's where these tomatoes are from. And you can see the tomato plant is actually getting quite tall. It's been growing for quite some time. The sage is still doing great. Pardon the mess. The kale is doing wonderful. This has been growing in the window since November. I put the seeds in this pot just because, well, thought why not? Had lots of seeds. So it actually goes outside most days to start to harden off. And same with these apple trees, which were the Rome Beauties from Troll Forge. They need to be potted up because the little pots are getting a little on the small side compared to the size of the rest of the plant. So that's probably what I'll be starting to do this afternoon. Now, the other window, we only have these two side lights for the doors for our south windows on the main floor. But this one you can see is growing in a little pot, and it's the white currant, which is a very small, sweet yellow tomato, very low acid. And if this was standing straight, I'm sure it would be over 6 feet tall. Now I missed a couple of suckers, so this is going to have to come off. And so will this one. What I've been doing is just popping them into water and rooting them and then potting them on as well. So I'll probably do the same with this because this is a favorite tomato that we love to snack on. Now, here are two Ferris wheel tomatoes. They were planted at the same time, but can you see the difference in the stems? This one, that's so much healthier and more vigorous, has been here in the window pretty much since it went in the pot, into the cup here. When it was just, maybe an inch tall. This one was under a grow light. Now, it also fell on the floor once because of the dog. But that's the difference with straight sunlight, no fancy growing lights or anything. And then this was under the fancy lights. And then back in here, let's see. I also have some Swiss chard and another tomato that's doing okay. Let's turn it around. It's another Ferris wheel. So now over to the potting table. So there's lots happening at the potting table. I think one of the most exciting things are the Kent Blue peas. Now, these are the ones that were sent from Bill and Val. I believe there's 9 in here, maybe 10, which is really good because last year I only got 2 to germinate and to really take off. So I'm really happy about this. But then these are the ones from the seeds that I saved last year off those 2 little pea plants that I did have growing. And I think there's 19 or 20 in there. So that's wonderful. I'm super thrilled, very excited. They'll be grown strictly as a decorative flower though. So let's see, what else do we have? We have some hollyhocks coming up. I believe this is 4 o'clock. Oh, no, more hollyhocks. I have some squash, zucchinis, More spaghetti squash. There's the 4 o'clocks back here. I have more white currant tomatoes, more squash. Those are catalpa trees. If anyone knows what those are, you've seen those beautiful tall trees that in the end of June and July, beginning of July, that have almost orchid-like flowers all over them, and then long, beautiful pods on them in the fall. That is what those are. And I have 3 of them going. The seeds were sent from my cousin Patty, and I love these trees. I think they're so, so beautiful. Back there I have some blue potato seeds that have sprouted now. So now I have to figure out how to pot those on and keep them going. I have a bit of basil here in the back. More squash, zucchinis, more squash. These are some of those suckers that I had broken off, stuck in water, and then potted on. And here, Troll, you wanted to know, and I promised I'd update you. These are those clippings from the double red hibiscus that I had just stuck in water. And you can see they've got some roots. We'll pot those on though in another video. But it does work quite well. I think 2 out of the 3 stems in there have roots on them. So I'm happy with that. I think that's a pretty good ratio. Okay, so again, pardon the mess. But I'm trying to get in these 3 cups here some honeysuckle bush going. There's one in the hedgerow beside us, and last year I was able to get a couple of them going, though only one actually seems to have survived the winter. So I'm going to try and get a couple more of those going. And I have some lemon balm and some sedum. I did a video quite some time back where I talked about how I'd brought some sedum into the house just for the dried, like for the flowers in the fall. And when it dried up, these started spreading off the side of it, so I potted them on. So that's what's growing here in the front window, amongst other things. We have some struggling fuchsia and creeping Jenny, and this, I think it's a 3-year-old, 3 or 4 years old now, the coleus in a hanging basket. But I've taken lots of clippings, so I have lots of this to go in as well. All right, now we're upstairs in the south window that's in the hallway. And the Ahi Sugar Rush are doing amazing. Now, my question is, oops, are these fully ripe, or do they need a little longer on the plant? So I'll be waiting for an answer from Tim from Troll on that one. But we have 6 of them. All of them seem to be trying to fruit. This one has little brown, like a brown thing on the end, so I don't know if that, I'll probably pull that one. Actually, I'll pull it off right now. This one hasn't been able to keep any fruit on it. And then this one looks beautiful, but just barely starting to turn that hint of yellow. Now into the craft room. All right, so this is the last room, and again, I'm sorry it's been so chaotic, a video, but I wanted to just show you what was going on. So this is another plant. I think this is one of the black ones that I had taken, the black tomatoes that I had taken a thing off of. And I have some hyssop and some pink spiky flower, the unknown. That is a Siberian pea. It's supposed to become a great big shrub. It'll get potted out this year. I have more Swiss chard, more. These I think are my, what are they? My small pumpkins. And then a couple of trees, my lemon trees. Well, I think 2 are lemon and 1's a clementine, I believe. And then in the west window I have more Swiss chard. No, that's not Swiss chard. That is perpetual spinach, it's called. I have bee balm, and I have some tatsoi. I think that's how it's pronounced. And of course, one of the coleus that I potted up from that coleus plant downstairs. And a ton of buttons because I was making ear savers and trying to find the right sized buttons. If you don't know what ear savers are, they're a piece of crocheted fabric or sewn fabric that's about this long, that has a button on each side. They're for the people on the front line who are having to use masks all day, every day. And the elastic on those masks really cuts in and hurts. It can actually start to do a lot of damage where it's literally cutting into the skin and they're bleeding. So it was something I could do to help my daughter and her friends at the home where she works. She's a personal support worker at a old age home. Anyways, this has been long enough. It's over 12 minutes, so I'm sorry. But thank you so much for joining. And I promise to do more videos now that my son is back to work and the house is a little quieter and easier for me to think. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Even the chickens are out in the rain. Bye-bye.